30 yards.
Great pistol.
Standing.
All twos.
Oh my gosh. Here's yet another great concealable combat handgun. I think most of us watch videos on stuff we're interested in, right? That being said, I will assume that you, like me, like guns like this. Hardcore combat handguns that you can hide on your person. There's a lot of great uses by great people for just such a gun. With that being said, I will also assume that you watched my Smith & Wesson Shield review recently posted. It will post very close to this one. In that video, I said the Shield is totally awesome, and it is, but hold off just a little bit because there's some other reviews I'm going to do to give you more buying options. This is one of them. The Springfield XDS, and yes, it is almost totally awesome. A great concealable combat defensive, perhaps offensive depending on who you are, handgun. This is of course the Nutnfancy Project Year 7. Hello double owls, you guys rock. This will be my tabletop review on all calibers of the XDS. The 9mm, the 45 ACP, and the forthcoming 40 Smith & Wesson. They're all the same pistol, just differences in chambering. Now at the 2012 SHOT Show, I hooked up with friend Rob Latham, and dude was just then introducing the XDS 45. I was immediately enthusiastic about the gun. You know, I've been doing this a while, and I can kind of get a feel for what the market will like. I have my own personal preferences. I don't like nonsense. I like enduring designs, lightweight, reliability, all the stuff you probably like. But also there's a lot of guns that fall into that category that for whatever reason fail to connect to the buyer, and they fail.
XDS.
As soon as I saw the XDS 45, I was like, this gun is a huge win. You will not be able to make enough of them. I said that on camera. Go watch the video. Sure enough, the XDS 45 has been extremely popular, and I suspect the 9mm is even more so. Pretty much a total win from Springfield, this gun. Total win. We are living, guys, in such an awesome time that there are so many great handguns to choose from in the concealed carry role. CCP, CCW, and by the way, we're going to go ahead and jump right into POU real quick. So many options. I mean, when I was carrying back in the 90s, there were a couple. Generally, it was a PPK is what I was carrying. Now, granted, the Glock 26, Glock 27 came out in the 90s. and I adopted that readily, started carrying it, the Glock 19, also some full-size, other things, but man, nothing like these days. I mean, this XDS, dang, son. Very capable handgun. It's like an XDM shrunk. You guys know that. And I love the XDM. Love it. It is such a great handgun. This, of course, its primary calling in life, no doubt, concealed carry. By who? By all good people. How's that? Law enforcement, you betcha. Police officers, absolutely. Whoever has a need for just such a gun, that's who.
Okay.
Also, female concealed carry permit holders. This is a good gun for them.
Nice.
I will hit on the weight issue. It has to be discussed, honestly. But I think a lot of women would love carrying this gun. Home defense, I would go full size. Definitely more rounds, bigger caliber than a 9. I've said that before, and I would like a bigger accessory rail on it. Could work though. I mean, honestly, the gun is so good, it's so accurate and really easy to shoot, as we will see in accuracy, especially by me. I mean, if I can hit with it, you can hit with it. That it can readily serve in that role. That's POU. That's all I'm going to say. The others, go watch the other videos, by the way. I have more in-depth discussions. Kind of like the Shield review talking about the movie, the outstanding movie, The Brave One. Oh, man. What a great reminder as to why we carry. Incidentally, I just made a new playlist here in TNP about concealable carry pistol options. Tested, reviewed, recommended here in TNP. I don't know why it's taken me freaking 7 years to make that, but I finally did. I don't think anybody watches those playlists, but it is motivational to me personally to fill it with great handguns like this, great options for my viewers. So check it out. You'll see it on my channel page at the front there. I think it's at the bottom, the Concealable Carry Pistol playlist. How about size, width, weight, balance, and feel on the outstanding XDM? Well, I think to be competitive in today's market, you're going to have to, and I'm talking concealed carry pistols, you're going to have to be thinner than an inch, generally speaking. Now, the Glock 26-27, here it is on the table. This one's hot because it's in service, and I'm not going to clear it just for the review. Most of the guns, competitive options, I'm going to show you are in service doing their job. This is 1.18 inches on the right. I carry one pretty much every day, unless I upgrade to something different. This one at the levers, I'm talking the XDS 9, which by the way is the same exact size as the 45 and the 40 will be. Dimensionally, they're identical. But at the levers, I mic'd it out at 1.045 inches, if I'm not mistaken, like where the levers are, and then 0.95 on the slide. So that's very thin. 6.3 inches overall length, and it's a 3.3 inch barrel. You could probably ascertain that from the slide. 23 ounces. Let's talk about that. All right, we have to get in this real quick because this is one reason I did hold off on, just jumping on the XDS bandwagon big time, like in 2012. Well, there's another reason too, is I don't like reviewing things when they first come out because usually they have problems. Not always, but usually. How many handguns have we seen from major manufacturers that have recalls? This is no different. The XDS 45 had issues. There were reports of light primer strikes, failures to go into battery, firing pin damage. Guys were sending their pistols back. This one, both the XDS 9 and the 45 have had recalls on them. Yeah, they would discharge when the slide was released. Well, not they would, but it had a slight chance of discharging when the slide was released. Or a double fire. Sounds kind of cool, right? Double fire, double tap. Not when you don't want it to happen. It's not cool. So then there's that. That's one reason I held off. And another reason is the weight. But I forgot about what I was talking about, huh? Nope. 23 ounces is stout for a single stack pistol, says me. Now, when I say stout, I mean, comparatively speaking, it's not that big of a deal. But it's even heavier than an empty Glock 26 and Glock 27, which are, I think, around 21.5 ounces, not with a +2 base plate. And that's a double stacker. Now I bring this up because I love the XDS. You're going to see pretty much I'm raving about it nonstop in this tabletop review. But consider how many rounds you want, and you know, the thinness is going to be an important consideration in your integration, right? 23 ounces. It is going to be heavier than the Shield. Still hanging around in TNP. Love this gun. Heavier than most single stack options. Now, when we talk about ergonomics, like I said in the Shield review, that weight can actually serve to help you connect with a gun. Small pistols are very unforgiving of bad marksmanship fundamentals, and they're hard to shoot well by virtue of their size alone, and then if you add in an extremely lightweight, even more so, right? 23 ounces though, and by the way, the 45 ACP version's even lighter. It's 21.5 ounces because it has a bigger diameter barrel, which means the walls of that barrel are going to be thinner. I think that's where the weight difference comes into play. Okay, the feel, you know, if I'm going to tell you honest, and I always do, it feels kind of heavy, the XDS. And I think once upon a time, I've reviewed, by the way, the XD and the XDM series here in the Nutnfancy project like eons ago. Look those vids up. I said then I was disappointed they didn't come in at the weight of the Glock. Now, the XD came out as an outgrowth, I believe, of the HS2000, released in 1999. Springfield started pumping it out, I think, around 2002. But it's always been a little bit heavier than the Glock. Same with the Shield, for that matter. So something to keep in mind. But we're talking about feel. It feels heavy in hand. It just does. Okay, but along with that, it feels authoritative. A favorite word of mine here in my reviews. I like it. It inspires confidence. Carrying it, it does not feel heavy. Does that make any sense? Just keep it in mind. How about firepower? Pretty standard, dudes.
XDS 9.
7 rounds. That's what we expect out of a subcompact, a truly subcompact 9mm pistol, at least. Now, remember my video back, I think, in 2008, compact it ain't. Now, once upon a time, this is one of my missions in the Nutnfancy project, is to correct the terminology and what people's perception of a compact carry pistol was. And I marched pretty much alone, I felt, back in 08, 09, where I was just saying, you know, these, even the P228, I love. The compact XD, for that matter, is not a subcompact, easily carried pistol, in my opinion. It's just too thick. A lot of them are too heavy. And if you go back to other guns like the SIG 229, no. This one is compact, very easy to carry, relatively speaking. Along with that, the formula goes 7 rounds. Unless you stick in the also included 9-round mag. Ooh. Now, interestingly, now we come up into Glock land, right? We're talking 9mm here, by the way. And I'll try to make a distinction between the calibers. So, actually, this is a 13-rounder because I have a 10-rounder with a +2 base plate, +1, 13 rounds. But this isn't going to be too far back. It's going to be a 10-round total. The difference is, with this in, you're going to have, of course, a much larger grip, and that will perhaps present concealability problems for you. Watch out for that. A lot of guys like that, and I said in the Shield review, I have no problems at all shooting with this magazine in, dangling the pinky. As long as I can get 2 good fingers on there, I can shoot it good. Now, in 45 ACP, if you get that version, which is amazing and totally squared away from what I understand, no more issues with it, it's going to be a 5+1 option. Hey man, 5+1, that sucks. Well, it is a 45 ACP. You know, consider that. I love the 9. It's size efficient in the current loads, especially plus P loads like a Golden Saber 124 grain plus P. Those suckers hit hard. Okay, it'll do the job. You have to connect with it. 45 ACP will make you feel even better. You're just going to have to reload quicker, and it's probably a much quicker reload for most people than like a revolver. Now, if you're practice a revolver, it's very quick. Now, the 40, when it comes out, will probably be a 6+1 option, is what I would estimate. That's generally what we see. So, on par, great magazines, by the way. Great base plates. I had no problems with them, dropping them on the desert floor. Shooting ranges with them popping off, nope. They call this the extension. And this I like better than Shield because it's very stiff and doesn't slide up and down the polished stainless steel magazine body so readily. Nice, hard polymer follower, just 100% reliable. The magazine's fabulous. You can buy these directly from Springfield. A lot of other vendors will have them. We had to go out and buy them for pretty much retail for our testing here in TNP. That's just the way it rolls sometimes. Incidentally, if you're talking about firepower, velocity, I guess I'll throw this in here. You're going to have, if you're a fan of the compact versions of the XD, you're going to lose about 50, I think, feet per second from what I've shot in this shorter barrel. Now, a lot of the loads are specifically formulated for these very short subcompact pistols, so it's not a heck of a lot. I do like a longer barrel anytime I can get it, both for sight radius, for extra velocity, but yeah, you know, it may not be a total deal breaker for you on to accuracy. Lots of paper to show you. I will try to go fast. We had an absolute riot shooting the XDS, and let me talk to that just super quick. Philosophies of use, I just basically concentrated on, you know, real stuff. Recreationally, especially the 9mm, I highly recommend it. This is quite the surprise because there's not a lot of subcompact 9mm pistols. I would come to the table and say, you know what, this is a rush to shoot. Well, check that. I'm saying it a lot more here in 2013 at least because of the great designs coming out. And there are some other ones that are much older that are also excellent, but some are not. This one is very, very fun to shoot. Lots of fun. Here we go. Standing 9 yards. This is a snowy desert. First time I ever pulled the trigger right there. Wasting him at 9 yards. I was really happy. Because of my weird eyes and my cross dominance, I'm always shooting left usually. There's one for you. No particular order. Oh, dudes. XDS 9, 18 yards. I can't remember if I was standing. I think I was. It may have been rested. 124 grain blazer. That was shooting really good that day. That's brass case blazer. I can't even find that ammo. All this is coming out of stash. Dudes, this is one reason I'm just so amazingly enthusiastic about the XDS. It shoots so good. 8 yards standing. 124 grain. This is a blazer brass, all these shots. This is as good as any pistol we shoot in TNP. I'm talking even full-sized. Granted, there's a couple that will get into one ragged hole, but speaking of one ragged hole, how about that? Dang. From a pocket pistol, standing, and I'm showing you the footage of it happening. Around there, around there. Gosh, this is a great gun. Great gun. It excites me when a gun is accurate and reliable. It just does. I know it does you too. Look at that, dudes. 115. This is a aluminum case, which, jeez, I've never seen that for the last 2 years for purchase. So sad. What a great round that was. The CCI aluminum case blazer. 3 rounds?
15 yards.
Jeez. Dang. That's a spray. Tactical Doodle coming off his cast getting removed after his Hayabusa high side. Yeah, no joke. Dudes, check that. This is my son, TD, Tactical Doodle, which, by the way, subscribe to his channel. Yeah, upper right, there's a link. Subscribe to Tactical Doodle's channel. He's making some funny videos, which are actually quite informative. And he talks about his everyday carry system. He rolls in the XDS. He talks about that. Weaponry, heirloom guns. Who knows what that dude's coming out with. Funny, though. He was shooting. This is the first time he shot in months and months after his recuperation. Wow, great group, Doodle. Great group. I think that's a full magazine from the XDS. Another great group. And if you watch his college EDC system video, this is what he's talking about, how he shot his XDS. Great job, son. XDS 9mm, 15 yards. Herders 115. I wasn't super pleased with that group, but I kind of think it might be an inconsistent ammunition problem. Gold Dot. Hollow Point, that's that load I'm telling you about. This is 15 yards standing. That's pretty damn good. Almost all in the orange. There's Herder's group. Okay, maybe it wasn't the ammo. That's probably me. Another gold dot group. This is 15 yards standing. 17 degrees out when I shot this. Just love that ammo. Lots of great 9mm ammo. I mean, it's not just that. Critical defense, good load. PNC. Remington, JHP, come on down. There's Fiocchi, XTP, 124 grain load. 100% reliable, dudes. And all our shooting. No jams, no misfeeds, no bobbles, no failures to go into battery. And then we did some rapid fire at the indoor range. 5 yards. I think we're double tapping. It might have been triple. I forget. You'll see it in the video. Oh, man. 9 yards standing in the desert. That is a takeaway target right there. 17 degrees standing with a freaking pocket pistol. Here's some more rapid fire results. 20 yards standing. Another takeaway target. Wow. I can't do that with a lot of full-size guns. I think I really got lucky on that, to be honest. It's so hard to shoot that way for me. Springfield XDS, 15 yards standing, desert. Jeez. Amazing accuracy. Last but not least, really quick. Hey, if I shot him, I like showing him. Good or bad, we show him. Oh, that's a 22-45. Accuracy, phenomenal. There's your accuracy. Really, really good. And I like transitioning accuracy right into ergonomics. And here's one good reason. Look at that sight picture on the XDS. You guys might want to put aftermarket sights on. These are not night sights. They have a fiber optic front element. But man, is that a clean sight picture. The first time I saw this was in the XDM 525, which I also reviewed. Separate video, I believe. Great sights. Love them. I have no plans to replace them. And they are partially responsible for that accuracy we just saw. How about a feature by feature review? Ergonomics. Love the grip. Very XDM-like. Both in grip angle and also the texturing. You could put on, I don't know, decal grip or another adhesion material in here to give you more traction. You will see those coming out. I would probably try it. They're so affordable. Run it if you like it. Keep it if you don't. Just peel it off. But the grip is decent the way it is. There's really no slickness issues like we see in the Shield. There's your fully ambidextrous magazine release. This is a great lefty pistol. Well, mostly great. We have the grip safety still. I've always had issues with that, but I've just learned to live with it. This, by the way, is a post-recall gun. You see this roll pin in here? That's how you tell. So it's had the work done on it. So if you're looking at a gun store, you want to know if it's post-recall. That's how you know. Looking at the magwell, super quick. No magazine disconnect in the XDS. Thank you, Springfield. Thank you so much. How about the trigger? Well, let's throw this on the scale. And like I said in the recently posted Shield review, a lot of times the manufacturers kind of don't tell us the real truth. I think Springfield, actually I don't remember, I think they say it pulls up to 7 pounds or something. So here we go. This is a Lyman digital trigger scale. I'll try to give you guys a good pull. I'm thinking it's going to be around 8. Ooh, that was 9. What? 9, 10? It is what it is. I'm just showing you as it happens. I'm trying to put it in a real consistent place on the trigger here. There we go. So that was 7 pounds, 5 ounces. I think it'll run just under 8 pounds for most of the examples post-recall. Now, pre-recall, what was it pulling? I don't know. That is lighter than the Shield, for your reference. It is a very crisp let-off. It has a crisp reset if that's important to you. I would like it lighter. 5 pounds would be awesome. And when we talk about accessories, we'll talk about the trigger again. But it's a real crisp let-off. And as you can see, it does not, in its stock form, hamper accuracy. So I like the trigger face too. It's full size. It's not narrow. The paddle's non-obnoxious. The trigger guard is nice and large. Accommodates gloves. Has a squared front, just a slight angle to it. Undercut polymer grip frame so you can get a high grip on it. Love that. And it does have an accessory rail, albeit I had a hard time finding anything that would fit it. Now, I think I got a TLR4 in my pocket, and just by way of representation, here we go. That does not fit it, nor could I find an insert that came in the package that would bring that back far enough where it wasn't ramming in the trigger guard and still seating in that notch. You'll see some lights out there that will fit it though. You have to decide if you need one on your concealed carry pistol. I don't know. Take it or leave it. A little bit of milling right here. Great serrations on the XDMs and, for that matter, the XDS here. This is a non-obnoxious cocking indicator. I meant to bring a snap cap with me to show you. If you're going to put one on a gun, make it like this one. Not like the LC9, which sticks up huge, has red on it. This one sticks up just a little bit. It is tactile. In the dark, you can tell if you have a round chamber. I actually kind of like it. No external safeties, and notice how low profile the slide release is. The takedown lever is just really a clean, smooth gun all the way around. Yes, there's lots of other ones, not just this one. Then you got some scalloping right here on ergonomics. That's about it. If you're thinking which calibers, if we're talking ergonomics incidentally, you might want to consider the 9 as your favorite. Like we said, it can be effective with proper loads and marksmanship, but it's also less recoil. I did not shoot the XDS 45, but my understanding is it is a handful recoil-wise, which is to be expected. When you launch a 230 grain bullet out of a 21.5 ounce gun, that's going to happen, right? Yeah, the 9's probably a little bit better that way. And if I didn't mention it, that slide release is positive. I did say it's low profile, but I used it a lot in testing of just doing that. How about field strip and maintenance? Well, here comes a minor criticism. Notice this little rub mark right here? Yeah, that's from me, and we dinged it up just in testing there. There's a melanite finished, by the way, stainless steel slide and barrel for that matter. So it's very Tennifer-like, extremely tough, but apparently not scratch-proof. No big, I'm just telling you guys. So the takedown lever, okay, so we have the magazine out, of course. You will have to pull the trigger for field strip. No big deal, I have no issues with that at all. Safe direction, just use common sense. Takedown lever's hard to actuate. It's stiff. And when I pressed it for the first time, that's when I scratched it right there. And I'll probably scratch it again. So you just gotta press that sucker up. It's really stiff, dudes. Dang. There we go, I got it. Can't believe it. Okay, and then we'll release the slide, pull the trigger, off it comes. There's your field strip. Real easy, actually. Well, let's back up. Maybe not real easy, just because that's so stiff. Dual nested recoil spring, standard stuff we've seen all along. There's your feed ramp, fully supported. Super quality construction in the XD series, right? We've always seen that. Look at this, though. Dudes, look at how big those guide rails are on this gun. Talked about, you know, pistol lubrication before. I won't waste your time here. There's your ejector right there, and then putting it back together. No big deal. That's field strip and maintenance. By the way, there is a feature on the XDS that you, I think, have to have the magazine out to disassemble it. If the magazine is in, the slide lever, I think, will not rotate down. On it to accessories and versatility. I would not replace the sights once again. The sights are good. I love them. But if you had to, or if you wanted to, you wanted a night sight option, I get it. Then you have some options because the dovetails are the same as an XD or XDM series. How awesome is that? I would say pretty awesome. So you could put on your XDS, XDM sights. That means you have True Glow TFO options, Trijicon, Dawson Precision, and then one of my favorite, the Heine sights. Let's go back to the Glock because I just put these on, by the way. These are Heine, either Slant Pros or Straight 8s, I forget, and they're just a clean presentation. Little tritium dots. I just love them. One reason is that they're great range sights. So if you're running steel on these, great. You can swap those out. Powder River makes a trigger kit for it, and I just ordered it. It's like under 20 bucks, I think. It's a spring kit. I just want them, like I said in some other reviews, to keep that engagement point forward. You know, I don't like it when I put a trigger kit in and it keeps coming back, and then it pulls way aft in the trigger. I hate that, so I hope it doesn't do that. If it does, I'm going to uninstall it and just run the stock trigger. There'll be some other trigger kits coming out. How about holsters? This is a Stow and Go by Galco. I forget what gun it's for. It might be for this one. There's the numbers on it, and it totally fits. good option. And this is really exciting for me personally. I'll try to calm myself. This is an everyday carry holster system. It's like freaking $40, half the cost of the overpriced cross draw. And this is a shield one, and it totally fits. That is amazing to me, because the gun's profiles are a little bit different, I think, you know. Fits great, and it retains too. But $40 for a holster, a composite holster, excellent. You can get your magazine, off magazine. This is the Fox one again, just because I still have it. And a little bit loose. So you'll have to probably get one specific built for your XDS. All kinds of other holster options out there. It's going to be a very popular pistol. It's going to sell well. I wouldn't have any worries that you'll be able to find the one you want. I would like to see a Galco Classic light for it. Absolutely. DeSantis, Phobos, Blackhawk, Bianchi are all making holsters for it right now. And then accessories, of course, you want to buy magazines. I say 5 per gun, because this will be a hand-me-down gun, right? You might lose some, might break some, step on it, whatever. On to value. Competitive options. I'm going to wrap it up. This gun runs with actually 3 magazines, about 400, not 400, but I wish, $530. That's what TNP paid for this one. Not a loaner. We bought it, as we always do. This is your carry case it comes in. Pretty sick. Talk about value. Look at all the freaking stuff. And it does, the ones nowadays are come with 3 magazines, if you don't know that. But look at all the stuff that comes with your XDS pistol. So 3 mags, nice Pelican style carry case, if you like that. Fitted, which is cool. Then you have the XDS gear. You know, I forgot to show you that. Magazine holder, holster for the pistol, and they're good. Are they the most awesome? Like I've said, no. But they're good and they're included, and you can run those until you want to get something else. Then you have all your paperwork, your manual, blah, 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 warnings, all this. And then you get this super awesome trigger or gun lock. Yeah, I'll throw that in the garbage, but I'll keep the cleaning brush and I guess the hex wrench. So $530, that's what you get on this. It is going to be less than a lot of other options, and it's going to be more than some. It just depends on how much money you're willing to spend. Let me say this. Don't sweat a few bucks when you're buying a gun to save your life. And one you know that you're going to like. So if you get a chance to shoot it, handle it, and you know you're going to dig it, don't sweat a few bucks. I'm not going to say don't try to find the best deal you can. Do. Don't worry about it. Shield, that's less expensive, and it is equally as awesome. I just love, love, love the shield. It's such a great pistol. I want to raise this up so you can see a little bit more. Other options, Ruger LC9, horrible trigger, extremely reliable, accurate if you're good with it, and it's hard to be good with that pistol. The amazing SIG 938, that's an expensive pistol, the only 1911 style of pistol, condition 1 style, represented on the table. You could go with an EMP, right? Springfield EMP. That'd be a good option. Of course, Kel-Tec PF9, still love that one. This one's running 9 round mag, so that's 10 rounds total. 12.7 ounce carry option, under $300. Reliable on TNP, mostly. Glock 26, Glock 27, standard of carry. Still awesome. I reviewed this sucker in 2008, dude. That's how important it was to get the word out on the Glock. Couple options for you. Oh, here's one off the wall just because it's here. PMR 30. I'm just messing with you, man. It's light, though. It's not small, but man, this thing is a feather. Go watch my review on the Kel-Tec PMR 30. Although I'm not a huge fan of the 22 Magnum in defensive role. How about durability, reliability, track record of the Springfield XDS? I already talked to you guys about the recall, nature of the recall, and that's all I'm going to say about it. I mean, it's a, you know, kind of a flash in the pan. We've seen it with a lot of pistols. In our experience, 100% reliable, no issues whatsoever. Melanite finish, quality construction, you guys know the drill. I mean, it's a freaking Springfield, you know, XDS, and it has a lifetime warranty if you have any problems with it. I think it has a lifetime warranty. I hope I'm not lying to you. Send it in. I know the Smith & Wesson Shield does. This is awesome. It really, really is. My major concern is rounds carried for the weight. We discussed that. You know, when I carry a Glock 26, 27 over this gun, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be carrying the XDS because I love it so much. It hits so well. It's so smooth. It's got the crisp trigger, not super light. Great sights on it. It's ergonomic. It's thin, a little bit heavy. That's really the only criticism I can level at this gun. It is extremely recommended in the Nutnfancy project. See ya.
PMC's first up. 15 yards, standing. XDS 9, 17 degrees. Good group. That's what that looks like right there. Probably a decent defensive load too. Shooting out a stash.